In this lesson, we'll begin finalizing the last section of the upper body. Let's bring our control curves back, and what we'll work on first are really minor fixes with the arms. We want them to have a nice transition between IK and FK mode, so we're going to prepare for that. Again, we're not going to finish the arms right now because we're going to want to work on the upper body first and then to get the arms completed. But we're just going to make it a little bit easier for us, we can say, when it comes time to work on the arms. So for them, what we want to do is go about the position where the character is about to drop the weight. So let's say at about frame 332, the character is just about to drop the weight, and on 333, that's when he completely releases the weight from his hands. So let's go to 332 first, and we'll first select our wrist control so we can get to our IK-FK switch. And once there, let's change it to, let's make sure our IK is still set. So we'll put in the value of 0. And notice that it adjusts the arm sum. And we'll also go to our arm IK controls. Let's go there. And we'll go to our bar lock channel and also make sure it's set to absolute. So we'll put in a value of 10. Then we'll go one frame after. And this is where the character will just release the weight on frame 333. And for the bar lock channel, we'll put in a value of 0 to deactivate that. And as far as our switch goes for the IK-FK mode, we'll just switch it to FK. So we're going to have a one frame switch and do a transition between that. And the last thing we'll do for the arms is just position them a little bit better so that we get a nice blend from the arms being in this position in IK to being in a similar position for FK. So we can start with this right arm here. Let's go to the scapula first and adjust it. Can go into our rotate mode and scrub back and forth to see what adjustments we need to make. Okay, so we can bring this down a little bit in the Z, and as far as this arm, can bring that down some in the Z too. If we go to our channel box and start moving from there, scrub back and forth. Then we could bring down this scapula a little bit more, so we'll go to our Z channel, bring down the scapula some. Can start bending that elbow up. So let's select the elbow on 333 and start moving that up. Then we can go into more of a top view. Remember, we'll need to check our animation in more than one view to make sure it's looking how we want it. Say we can take this arm and bring it back some in the Y. Scrub through. Okay, so that's fine for now. Let's check the back, see how it looks there. Okay, so that's going to be fine. Now we can go ahead and start working on this right arm. So we'll do that. We'll go to 332 and then switch between 333. Okay, for one, we need to change the position of this arm slightly. So we can go to our rotate X and rotate the arm out, our arm, so that it's faced more like the direction we have it on frame 332. Then we'll bring it in some, bend the elbow, get that bent. All right, checking the top view, see how that looks. Okay, maybe adjust the scapula a little bit more, and the Z, bring it down some. Okay, all right, so for right now, there's our fix for the arms. And again, we will be going back to them, but we want to make sure that the upper body is finished up before we go ahead and animate the arms. And as far as animating the upper body based off the arms, we will need to do a few more tweaks based off of the movement of the arms to the upper body. But for right now, we're going to take care of most of it. So let's go to our center of gravity control, and we'll start working from there. And what we'll do is go to about the frame where the character is about to drop the weight on frame 332. And let's translate him back some. And also rotate him forward. Okay, for the fall of the weight, we can probably translate him back a little bit more. So here's what we get when we scrub through. He moves out the way. But notice there's a slight delay in there too. So we want to fix that. Let's go to our perspective and graph view. And we'll just focus on the translate Z for now. We'll scrub a little bit past to about frame, let's go to about frame 341, and we'll translate the character back a little bit more, like that. And then notice if we hit play, there's a little bit of delay because of the tangency here on frame 332, so we'll go ahead and blend that in nice so we get a nice arc in our F curve and a smoother motion in our animation. Great. So the character moves back, and what we want to do is have him, see how he's coming up forward pretty fast? Well, let's make this movement on frame 356 a little bit more subtle, and what we can do to do that is just bring the key down. So it's closer to a value of this key here on frame 341. So we'll hit play. Okay, great. So the character dodges the weight, throws it down, and as he's coming back up, starts to move back, and then let's have him translate back on our last frame for the follow through, some slight follow through. So we'll translate him back, and we'll rotate him forward slightly too. And we'll also check out our rotate X to see how our keys are looking there, and they're fine for now. We will need to add some anticipation and fix the timing at the beginning, because this movement for one is too fast. If we go ahead and hit play, bam, it's like he's just throwing himself back like he got hit or something. So let's adjust this key on frame 328. Let's move it up a few frames to about 324. Okay, so when we hit play, here's what we get. Okay, notice that dodge is much better now, and we can add a little bit of anticipation. So we'll go to frame 324, and we'll just rotate the back some since he's moving forward to dodge. We'll also translate him back a little bit too, again for the anticipation to that. Great, so we're getting some pretty nice movement for the back. Okay, and we'll go ahead and scrub through to make sure we like everything that we've got. Let's check out our tangency in the Translate Z, see if we can adjust anything. Maybe we could adjust this key here on frame 324 that we had. Maybe bring it down some, and then just adjust its tangency so we get a better arc, so we get a smoother animation. Alright, great. And remember, when the feet come in there, we will have to do other adjustments too based off of the movement of the feet, like body shifts. But for right now, we're making good progress, and we can start working on the head, getting that worked on. So for the head, let's go ahead and see where we're going to have our poses for that. We're going to want him to throw back his head as to dodge the bar from hitting it. And we'll have that happen on frame 328. Let's go there, and on that frame, let's go ahead and rotate his head back, and also translate it back some in the Z to dodge the weight there. Okay, so then the weight starts coming down if we hit play. Alright, awesome. So he's moving out the way for the weight, and he's throwing his head back. Now it needs to come forward for the follow through. So for the follow through to that, what we can do is go to about, let's go to about frame 340, about 342. And on 342, we'll just go ahead and rotate the head forward slightly and translate it in the Z as well. Hit play to see if we like the motion. Alright, great. So we're getting some nice motion. And for the follow through to that, let's see. Goes down. And we can keep this key at 356. We'll just rotate the head up some. There. And then back a little bit more. Hit play, see if we like the motion. Alright, great. And for our last frame, frame 380, to add a little bit of movement there, let's have the head move back a little bit more and rotate up. Being that the body is moving down, if we check that out, the body slowly rotating down So we'll have the head rotate up just to keep it a little bit offset from the body and give us some good motion. So we'll hit play, and here's what we get. All right. So for right now, our head movement's looking pretty good. And now would be a great time to do a play blast. So let's do that. We'll hide our NURBS curves. And we can just focus on the side view, since the tweaks that we've been making have pretty much been in the side view. So we'll find a nice view to play blast from and start a render off. Here it is. So the movement's looking good for now, but we do need to have a little bit of anticipation in our head movement. Okay, so he just doesn't move his head back, but he moves it forward slightly first and then back. So let's work on that. We'll close out our play blast, bring back our NURBS curves, and make our last adjustment for the head. For that, we can take this key on frame 311 and let's move it back some to about frame 315. Okay, and we'll rotate the head forward some here and translate it forward some too. Then we'll hit play. See if we like the motion from a playback, and then do another play blast. So we'll find a nice view. Think about right here would be nice. Here it is. Okay, so adding that little tweak of the anticipation before added a little bit more to our animation in this section. And that completes this lesson. So in the next lesson, what we'll do is work on completing the upper body. Okay, and remember, we'll go back to the arms afterwards, but we need to add a little bit more movement in our midsection. So we'll work on that.